Why do we build walls? Sometimes it's for safety. We want to make sure that ourselves and whatever we put inside of the walls is safe from whatever is outside. But as well as that, sometimes we want privacy. Sometimes we don't want people to be able to see inside. We want to make sure that people or things can't get in, and sometimes we want to make sure that people or things can't get out, like in a prison. But there are other reasons that we build walls too. And sometimes we build different types of walls for different reasons. At the start of the year, we talked about the Neolithic Revolution, the time when human beings stopped being nomadic and moving around, and they stopped being hunter-gatherers, and they started to settle. They started to become farmers and follow agriculture. One of the reasons why they might have built walls is because for the first time they had private property. They had their own space and they wanted to make sure it was kept for themselves. Sometimes we use barriers and walls in order to get money as well. We can control who comes in and who comes out, and we can make them pay. We could even tax them. If they try and bring a product into our wall to sell, we can make sure they pay some money as a tax. Or if they try and take a product out, we can make them pay tax before they do that. We can use walls to get rich. So what I want you to do this week is to start thinking about why the Romans built walls. One wall in particular is very famous. It's called Hadrian's Wall, and it's in the north of England, actually not that far away from where I come from. I want us to also think back to the Great Wall of China that we studied last term. And I want you to think about what are the similarities and differences between those two walls. But not just in terms of what they look like and how long they are, but what are the similarities in why they were made, their purpose, and what are some of the differences in their purpose. I want you, for the first hour of this week's learning, to create a poster showing some of those similarities and some of those differences. And then I want you to explain for me, do you think that they were more similar or more different? I've put lots of resources there that you can look at and hopefully find some of the information you need. You might want to do a little bit of extra research yourself. Hopefully it won't be too difficult, but remember, you can always get in touch with me and ask any questions as well. The second thing I want us to do is to start to think about evidence. So these walls are made of stone and they're left behind. So they're really good evidence for us to learn something about what the Romans were really like. We can learn, for example, that they were attacked. In the north of Britain, the Picts and the Scots were two groups who attacked the Romans. And in other parts of the Roman Empire, Goths and Visigoths and Franks, Angles and Saxons, they all attacked the Roman Empire too. They left behind evidence at those walls of great big battles. I want you to look at these pages of the textbook. I want you to explore them and look at some of the sources of evidence. Some of the evidence comes from the Roman times, and that means it's a primary source. Some of the evidence comes from historians later on, and so it's a secondary source. Those historians have had a chance to look at lots of different evidence, and so we can usually learn quite a lot from them. Whereas with primary sources, usually we're just going to learn one thing. Take a look at it all, and then activities 2 and 3 I would like you to do, please. So all of this work can be done on paper. You can take a photograph of it and you can upload it to our assignment box in Teams. As always, please ask me any questions, get in touch, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.